US fans, Robin here again, without Pete, which often means books, but today does actually mean a little Shadespire rundown of some things I've been thinking about from playing my games with Pete. Now I know some of you out there have played loads of games. Pete and I haven't had that many. Pretty much what you've seen on the screen is what we've played. I've played a few extra off camera, but not many more. But I thought I'd try and outline 10 ways to improve your Shadespire game, or indeed 10 ways to improve my Shadespire game, things I need to remember when playing. So this is 10 simple ways to kind of up your game a little bit. I'm not really talking about deck tactics here, just a few small things you can do to improve how you play. So do feel free to comment if you don't agree with them, or if there's any other, if you've got any gems that you would like to share with the rest of the community, please do that at the end or in the comments below. And we can talk about it. It'll be good. Good to get some discussions. I'm always looking for new ways to improve. Anyway, these are my 10 easy ways to improve your Shadespire game. So number one seems like a very obvious one, and that is know the rules. That's right. If you've watched our videos, you'll see that Pete and I do occasionally make mistakes. And everybody makes mistakes. It seems to be a problem with these kind of modern, complex board games. Anything more modern for me than Snakes and Ladders. It's remembering all the rules all the time is tough. But knowing the rules is obviously very important. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes if you know the rules inside out. And you're less likely to make mistakes, you're less likely to forget things if you know the rules. So that is the first one, know the rules. To be honest, the only way to really know them is to play games, and then you realise them. The problem is don't submit any bad rules. Another issue of modern gaming is when you submit a bad rule, it doesn't break the game, or it doesn't obviously break the game, but you carry on playing it anyway, and then somebody points out that you've done it wrong. So anyway, number one, know the rules. Number two is know your cards. And I'm talking about the cards that are in your deck. Know which cards are in your deck. This will get easier as time goes on, as you become more familiar. At the moment, the game's pretty new. Nobody's played that many games. But if you know what cards are in your deck, it's much easier to play. We played a game the other night, Aurochs versus Stormcast, and I put the deck together quickly because I had the cards and I didn't know what was in it. And it's you can't plan ahead if you don't know what might be coming. So that is maybe an obvious thing, but know your cards. So know what cards are in your deck. Really important for strategy planning and working out what you might draw. So number three then is know your cards. Yes, know your cards again, but this time not what's in the deck, but the actual text on the cards. Really important, this one. And again, people will get better at this. I will get better at this as time goes on and I learn what's on the cards. The amount of times I've read a card when I'm at home, thought that sounds really good, put it in the deck, come to play it, read it, and somehow the text has changed or isn't quite the same as it was when I was written at home and the card was brilliant in the game. You suddenly realise that the text isn't quite as good as you thought it was, for whatever reason that might be. So yeah, do read the text, make sure you understand what the card does, make sure that you understand what the card doesn't do. I know there are some discussions online about exactly what a text means. Some of the cards are open to interpretation, rather more than many players would like. But it's important that you do know the text and you understand the text, and if you have got any of the queries, clear it up with your opponent first if you can. But knowing the text is really important again for strategy and not being surprised when you get onto the table and discover a card doesn't do what you wanted it to do. So that brings me on to number four. Number four is know your heroes. Very important, this one, and again it will get easier as you go on. Knowing what your heroes do, remembering what their inspire condition is, always important to remember that. They're often the same for all the heroes, but forgetting to do it is a good way to lose the game. Remember they've got cleave or knockback, another really important thing, and remembering to do their furious parry if you're Angara Brightshield, and remembering that if you do parry and you do push, you can knock somebody back or you can push them back. So those kind of things, you've got to really know your heroes inside out. What are they going to do? How to optimise their effectiveness. You have to really know what they're going to do in which situations. So knowing your heroes is vitally important. Number 5, know your opponent's cards. A little tougher this one, you don't know what your opponent's going to be bringing to the table. There are lots of cards out there that aren't in your deck. Trying to remember them was tough, but again, this will come with experience. And again, it's vitally important. It's important to know what the Khorne Blood Reavers might bring against you. It's important to know exactly how the Sepulchral Guard might mobilise themselves, all 7 of them against you. All these things, vital if you're gonna step up a level in the game. Again, I mean, it's tough. That's a lot of cards to learn, and the only way you will learn is through playing. But that is a key way to ensure that you can strategize and plan your tactics so that your opponent doesn't surprise you. Because the worst thing in a game of Shadespire is being surprised. The worst in any war game is being surprised. It's very hard to react there and there to a new eventuality. So that takes me on to number 6. Number 6 is a free move is a good move. Now this one might come out of being a Stormcast player where movement is very slow. Perhaps it's less important if you've got a fast moving army like the Khorne Blood Reavers. But I found any card that I can use which can give me a little free movement within the game is absolutely vital. You have 12 activations in this game. That's 12 movements, but with charging and drawing cards and things, that's probably less than 12 altogether. You've got multiple men, you've got to move them. Any free move is brilliant. Anything outside of your activation where you can move a man, or after your activation where you can move a man, is excellent, particularly if your troops are slow moving. Get up there, get in their faces, or pull back, get on an objective, get out of the way of an attack. All these things are vital. Anything you can do to make your opponent move to catch you up is brilliant. So a free move is a good move, in my opinion. Which takes me on to number 8. Number 8, inactivation objectives are your friend. I like the inactivation objectives. Normally objectives you score at the end of the 4 activation phase, so you get new ones and you can draw new ones. If you can score ones in the middle, you can have them immediately and you immediately get a new objective. A good way to win Shadespire is to keep cycling through that objectives deck. It gives you more options, more possibilities of scoring more glory, giving you more chance to win. So if you can, it's a double bonus getting one within your activation or within the activations, because not only do you get the glory for it, which you can spend on upgrades to improve your card, you also get a new objective card which you can immediately start planning for, which means you might finish it at the end of the objective, which means you might draw another one at the end of the objective, at the end of the in the end phase. Is it called the end phase? Yes, it is. Which you might get to draw in the end phase. Which means, again, more glory, picking them up for free. You don't want to be wasting turns swapping out your objective cards if you can avoid it. So that, I would say, is very important. In activation objective cards are really, really useful. Bear it in mind. Takes me on to number 8. That takes me on to number 8. Number 8, count your cards. Now, again, the more you play, the more you become familiar with your deck, the easier this will be, and then probably you won't even notice you're doing it. But it's really important, particularly the objectives deck, to know how many cards have gone, but also know which ones have gone. Remember that. A classic example I had in a game with Pete was I had 2 objectives left, and I had one in my hand, which I think was I had to get into the opponent's half for, and I drew I drew a power card on the off chance I picked up sprint, I think, or maybe the +1 speed, so that I could reach the zone to get these 2 objective points. And I think I had 8 or so power cards left, so I drew a 1 in 8 chance of getting it. So I drew it, I didn't get it. 2 objective points gone begging. If I'd been thinking about it, I would have known that in my 2 remaining objective cards, one of them was the objective 5, I think it was in the game, the objective that I was standing right next to. Okay, I wouldn't have got 2 glory points, but I could have just moved 1 step and got one glory. And there was a 50-50 chance. So I had a 50-50 chance of getting 1 glory point basically, or a 1 in 8 chance of getting 2. Should have gone for the objectives. So really important to count your cards so that you know what's coming, and you can, it helps you plan a little bit more. Okay, these ones have gone, so these ones are left. Again, important thing to do. A bit harder on with the power cards because you've got more of them. You're less likely to cycle through them. But again, there's no point in looking for great strength if it's already gone. Or again, there's no point relying on it if you've got 10 left and there's only 1 in 10 chance of getting it. So count your cards, really important. Follows on to number 9. Very important rule in Shadespire, don't give up. I'm not sure how many games have been overturned by warbands that have been totally destroyed, but there is some possibilities there. When everything looks to have gone south and your warband's really up against it, keep going, don't despair. You might pick up a card that suddenly changes the game. Sprint might make you charge your last remaining warrior with one wound left into the enemy's half, enabling you to pick up the objective card that gives you 2 glory if you're in the opponent's half. I can't remember what it's called. You might pick up Sigma's Bulwark when you've got nobody left, and that means you get an extra objective point. It's a bit crazy, but that's the rule. So never give up, keep going. I haven't necessarily overturned games, but I've made games much, much closer by just keeping going. I've been surprised how close it was at the end. A couple of our last ones, I actually beat Pete despite thinking I was going to get absolutely destroyed, because I managed to pick up a couple of objective points at the last turn, and I was lucky he didn't get any. So don't give up, don't despair. The good thing about Shadespire is very quick, so if you do lose, there's another game coming along very soon. But in any case, in any game, don't give up. You never know what might happen. And that brings me to number 10, the most important thing of all to improve your Shadespire experience. And that is to have fun. Enough said, really, isn't it? It's a game. It's not life or death. I've seen a lot of people getting a bit tetchy on the forums and getting antsy about rules. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. There's another game coming along. I know people love to put together power decks and and take this very seriously and go to tournaments or whatever. That's fine if that's what you want to do, as long as you're enjoying yourself. But don't denigrate somebody else's enjoyment who doesn't enjoy that. It's no fun for anybody if you do that. Just enjoy the game. Experiment with the decks. This is a beautiful game. The miniatures are beautiful. If you've never painted before, learn to paint if you want to, but don't if you don't. It's a great game at Shadespire. I think anybody who's watching this video and managed to stick me out for this long agrees with me. So enjoy it. Like I say, experiment with the decks. Put in funny cards, different cards. Try it without any objective, without any physical objectives to capture. Try it with 5. I don't know. Just try different things. See what happens. See what works. I really, really want to play a multiplayer game, because that's sounds like lots of fun. I've heard that multiplayer games are great, but I've never done one. I'd love to do that, so maybe we'll try and sort that out at some point in the future. So yes, have fun. Enjoy your Shadespire. So if you want to paint the miniatures, paint the miniatures. If you don't want to paint them, don't paint them. There's loads of great ideas for painting out there. I've seen loads of really good conversions and paint jobs and everything out there, so keep going. It's a great game. It's a great hobby. Enjoy it. Don't sweat it. Please do keep following Age of Sigmar. We've got battle reports coming up, more of these random ramblings, which I hope you enjoy. And until next time, please do leave comments in the comment box if you want to see more of these types of videos. Please gently, politely say, please don't do any more of these videos if that's how you feel. Until next time, I'm not sure what we've got coming up, but I'm sure it's going to be Shadespire. So look after yourself, guys, and enjoy your gaming. Bye-bye.